park this way. Paint shop, this is one I talked about that you won't see. 264 direct employees, 73 indirect. And when I talk about direct and indirect, direct is primarily production, those who are tied directly to the line, and indirect are support, skilled trades, or material handling folks. 19 salary and another 13 miles of conveyor there in the paint shop. Runs to 72 jobs an hour, a little bit of automation of 42 robots. Paint process, I don't have my notes here, so I'm going to wing it a little bit. The paint process, basically these, the bodies in the boxes come out of the body shop. It goes into phosphate, which is a big tank that washes it, eco, powder, color, and then clear coat, and then the final process is where we polish and buy off. And that's kind of pretty much what the high level of the paint shop process is. After that, they ship to our assembly operations. Video there for you. The one on the left is eco, where we dip the entire box in the cab into a big tank. And the video on the right is spray booth, color booth. I gotta tell you, as a kid who grew up with parents in the automotive world, this is cool as hell. I have a perfect job, so I get to play around in this stuff all day. Sometimes better than others. Okay, assembly. Assembly is really primarily the biggest chunk of our workforce here. Of the 2,400, we have 1,000 direct employees and about 300 indirect employees in the assembly shop. And this is where now you have a painted cab, you have a painted box, and we stuff it full of all the parts. If you look at the layout there, all the way at the bottom, in the tan section, if you can read it, it's motor house, so that's where we marry the engine and the transmission. And then right above that in the orange section is chassis, so that's where we take the frame and all your suspension components. But the top section is where the body and the cab drop out of the paint, and this is where we stuff it full of the interior parts. Here in the middle is body drop, and that's kind of where we marry the cab and the box to the chassis. And then it goes all the way to your left, where we do front end alignment, rolls test, and then final inspection of the vehicle. And I think we have some pictures here. Okay. And you'll see this area on the left. This is our sunroof loop. We'll talk a little bit about world-class manufacturing, but as we try to bring the plant back to its original state, you'll see this area. Hopefully, if we're doing our job well, it stands out a little bit. Then the picture of the video on the right is a body drop, and that's the area where we marry the cab and the box to the chassis. Okay, we'll talk a little bit about world-class manufacturing. Now you've seen the facility, a little bit of the history, the people, a little bit about the process. I guess I have to talk really about how do we do things. If you know anything about manufacturing, or you ever read, you heard about Toyota production system, Ford production system, lean manufacturing. Our process here within Chrysler is called world-class manufacturing. And this is just kind of evolution of timeline. We've always had some kind of lean manufacturing process here that we've carried out. But in 2004, critical part of Fiat's turnaround was the implementation of what they call world-class manufacturing. And as we started our relationship with them in 2009, now both companies, and even Case New Holland, which is under the Fiat Group Holdings, all operate under the same type of metrics on how you gauge performance in manufacturing. A little bit about that, I would bore you to death with manufacturing basics. If you pick up any lean manufacturing textbook, you're going to hear about total industrial engineering, total quality control, total productive maintenance, and just in time. Those are very basically manufacturing concepts. Our process here, I don't think is anything proprietary. It's not anything necessarily cutting edge on the individual elements, but it's how we bring all of these together and work with them and how we measure them on a daily basis. Underlying everything within world-class manufacturing, of course, is safety. And then we have this culture now around the concept of zero. So, for instance, under quality, we practice total quality control. We're focused on quality improvement, and the target is 0 defects. And that may be seen unrealistic or extraordinary to some folks, but it really is what we drive after. So you take an issue, we're not going to solve every issue in the world at once, but you focus and you measure with an incredible level of detail until you get to 0 defects on that particular issue, which of course delights everybody sitting in the audience. Okay, I talked a little bit about world-class manufacturing, and it's really nothing proprietary, but it's the way that it's put together. The way that it's organized is what we call the 10 pillars. So if I were to read them, it's safety, cost deployment, which isn't really a financial tool, it's a tool that helps us understand where our inefficiencies are on the floor. Focused improvement, which is a problem-solving methodology. Autonomous activities, which is getting the workforce engaged and owning the equipment. Professional maintenance, which is our skilled trades folks focusing on the technical aspects of the job and extending the life of our equipment. Quality control, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Logistics, early product and equipment management, which is about understanding what we're doing now and how we're making future models and future products even better than the ones we do today. People development is about making sure that our folks are getting smarter and better. And then the environment, of course, we have the responsibility not only to Mother Earth, but to understanding the waste streams and our energy costs. So that's how WCM is organized. Not only does it give us those 10 pillars or buckets, but we have a very distinct roadmap to implementation. We call it the 7 steps. So if you're going to implement safety, for instance, on the floor, it's not that we just go out there and make a safe work environment. There's a very clear book that thou shalt do this in step 1 and thou shalt do this in step 2. With that, extremely rigorous, there's an audit system. So I am not self-managed and I don't get to claim my own success. There's a group of third-party auditors who are outside the Chrysler Group within either the Fiat facilities or Case New Holland. They come in on very specific criteria and they give us a scoring system. So basically from 0 to 50, you're in the learning phase and just implementing it. The point of reaching 50, you're awarded a bronze level. At 75, you're silver, and then 80 is gold or something like that, if I remember properly. But at each level, there's a different awards given. The key thing here is it doesn't matter if you're an assembly plant, if you're a stamping plant, if you're a powertrain plant, if you're a tractor plant in the Case New Holland Group that manufactures big combines, the metric system is exactly the same. So everybody's measured on safety, everybody is measured on quality and their quality processes the same way. Cool part about this, there's a nice little report card that comes out and tells everybody very publicly exactly where they stand. So I can tell you after 16 years in manufacturing, it's great. We got one manufacturing system. Okay, overall as a plant, how are we doing? With the great people and the great process and the great operating system, we are a very good plant of continuous improvement. And this is just some generic or general numbers that are up there. If we look at maintaining and creating a safe work environment, 2009, 2010, we saw a 30% reduction in the number of injuries and first aid visits we've had in the facility. 25% improvement in quality. So again, I think that's an important one to delight the customers that are sitting here in the audience. Employee involvement. You know, when I went through those numbers, and I tell everybody this, 2,200 hourly employees and 140 salary employees. The only way you're going to be successful is to engage the workforce and get everybody participating. It's not going to be either one of the two groups. Everybody has something to contribute. So employee involvement, in 2009, 2010, we saw about a 25% increase, and this year we're looking to double that. Operating cost, which keeps us competitive. The better that we can get in efficiency, the more money that we can put back into the fine products that we launch in future years, and ensures our economic stability as a company. Productivity, about a 70% improvement, and then the number of projects, which is really a metric within world-class manufacturing. How many documented projects are we taking through that 7-step methodology? How many projects are we driving to 0 defects or 0 injuries or 0 losses? We saw a 60% increase year over year. So overall as a plant, we're seen as a pretty darn good plant. And last but not least is a little bit about employee involvement and community support. And this is just kind of a collage of photos of some of the things that we do here. Again, I started here about 6 months ago, so trying to drive that employee involvement and touch the workforce here. We'll do things like meet the plant manager. We'll bring in all the new products here, and we'll allow the workforce to come in and see our own mini auto show here. With the launch of the Fiat 500, we had our own celebration here about the products and a little bit of a corporate challenge of creating the theme and the passion behind us and the new Fiat 500 and trying to transpose that onto canvas in an artistic approach. The torque race recognition, I don't know if anybody has seen that Ram is now into the off-road racing. We recognize employees here in the facility, the best projects, the number of projects, and we gave away probably half a dozen tickets to the employees and their family to go attend the race. We have a bake sale, and we raise money for March of Dimes. March of Dimes, with our union partners, is one of the charities that we've tried to work closely with. Either the March of Dimes itself, Toys for Tots, or the bake sale, we try to keep involved in those type of activities. Every month, we do employee suggestion recognition. Again, if it's not tickets to a race or an article in the paper, we make sure that we get out there and offer some gift and encourage people to participate in continuous improvement of the plant. And then something new that we started, again, I told you I grew up as an automotive child with my father working at Ford, always around cars here in Detroit, in the Motor City. So what we do now, we have classic car Fridays. So 3 or 4 Fridays out of the season, we allow employees, if you have a classic car, right where you folks parked your vehicles, we can drive them right in there and you can, it's in a secure location. It's a nice thing to do. We have a DJ out there, we have hot dogs, and all of the proceeds of the money that we raise, again, go to March of Dimes. But for me as an auto guy, I love it. I got a 65 Mustang, sorry, it's not a Chrysler vehicle, 65 Mustang Fastback. But it turned out to be a great event. And these are some of the things, not only do we have the responsibility to, from a corporate standpoint, to manufacture quality vehicles at a competitive cost, but we have to do things back in the community, and we have to do things with our family and with our employees. So with that, I thank you. I think what we're doing next is we're going to divide ourselves up into 2 groups.
About 5 minutes for questions.
Okay. Any questions on this part? So you're going to shower me with product questions. So remember, you're going to see 2 presentations. This one's manufacturing, and then you'll see a product one. So any questions that you have right now, shoot, go for it. No, actually, very little.
We couldn't hear the question. What's the question?
The question was, do we know about TDR? How much do we know? Somebody willing to give us a couple of minutes and tell us about it? You can come on up here. You can use this, or you can, do we have a microphone? I'd love to know.
I don't think I need a microphone for this size of a group. Anyway, TDR is a group started by Robert Patton about 1993 or 94, soon after the Ram pickup came out. And it is a group of Ram pickup owners, specifically the diesel engines, turbo diesel engines. And it's like a Corvette club or a BMW club or something else. And periodically we've had get-togethers, which we are on the way to now. We're going on Indiana following this week with a few days of activities there, and a chance to be with other turbo diesel gearettes. And so that's what the group is all about. We have a quarterly publication of 150, 170 pages of technical data, and interesting stories and pictures, and all kinds of good stuff that Robert puts out. Oh, I'm here today on another subject. We were given by Robert some directions on how to get to Columbus from here when you leave here, and it takes us down 75 and through Dayton, and there's a hotel and camping at Monroe if you're interested. I have an alternate suggestion if anybody's interested in going a different way. It's for those specifically with campers that are self-contained. And I have a number of places where you can stop along the way. It's a little bit shorter route, but there's places, for instance, Camping World is got parts, service, and supplies for anybody that may need it. It's on this route. There's a Cracker Barrel with overnight camping and going for breakfast in the morning after 6 o'clock. And there are a few other places. If somebody would like information about that, I'll leave it on the table up here. I've got a map on the back and some notes here. Just help yourself.